Hello everyone and welcome to Meloni's Matters. Today is my first premiere show and I'm very excited about it. Today's show will focus on dads. You know, Father's Day is coming up, but this show is a little different. Today we're going to talk about the dad that really does not get recognition, and to me it's three types of dads. It's the dad that is in the household and doing what he is supposed to do. There's the deadbeat dad, but then there's the third dad. That dad, he is the one who is not with mom, but he's still taking care of his responsibility. But before we get into that, I do have to pay tribute to our sponsors. Now guys, you know, if you listen to my radio show, Meloni's Matters, that's on Blog Talk Radio, you know that I've been ranting and raving about my website. Well, as I said before, Julie Williamson has done an amazing job with my website. She took it from a 0.5 to a 10. And you gotta check out my website, and the website is www.melonisworks.com. That's MELONIS.com, and that is the work of Julie. Okay, so guys, check her out if you need your website revamped. She is the woman that you definitely want to see. My second sponsor is Real-Time Pain Relief. Now guys, I am almost 40, okay? So sometimes I wake up and I have aches and I have pains, and you know what I do? Instead of getting the stuff from the drugstore, I now use Real-Time Pain Relief because number one, it's all natural, and then number two, it doesn't have you smelling like a medicine cabinet. And let me give you the phone numbers of the people who you want to contact so you can get your free sample. First of all, their names are William and Wanda Dunn, and they could be reached at 301-760-4052. William and Wanda Dunn, Real-Time Pain Relief, and it absolutely does work. And I am sponsoring not only this premiere, but I also sponsor my radio show as well. And by the way of my book, which is called Atypical Journey. Now, Atypical Journey is it's real stories, okay? So it's a chronicle. So it's about 10 different women who really go through their life journeys, and you know, some of it is just not pretty, you know, but the one thing that a lot of readers have said about this book is that it really speaks to them because they can identify with maybe one or two characters or maybe more, or they know someone who is one of the characters in this book. Again, the book is called Atypical Journey, and you can get this book through my website. If you get it from my website, guys, I will give you a free copy of the DVD because this book was made into a play. And again, my website is www.melonisworks.com. Again, guys, today's show we are focusing on dads that are not with their children or their child's mother, but they're still doing what they need to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce our first guest, and his name is Jarrell.
2, 3.
Everyone, this is Jarrell. Now, let me explain a little bit about how I found this father. What I did was I just put out a random post on Facebook, and I had a couple of people responded. And so actually some of the fathers who supposed to be here, they couldn't attend because they had engagements for, you know, their children, which is fine, which I absolutely, you know, I'm good with because they are still engaging, you know, their kids, and they couldn't be here. But I got a response, and somebody said, you know what, you really need to check out Jarrell. And I was like, okay, you know, let me see what he's about or whatever. So I contacted him, and this is how we came, you know, for him to be on the show today. So Jarrell, please introduce yourself to everyone. I'm sorry.
How y'all doing? Jarrell. Just a father, you know, hard-working man, chilling for real.
Okay. So Jarrell, tell us a little bit about your child.
Well, my son, man, I can't really, like, I get the crime when I talk. Look, my son just everything to me. Like, I mean, when he was born, like, right after my mother passed. My mother passed in October 08, and he was born in May '09. So it was like, as soon as he came out, he just like looked up.
This is
But look, but it's just like, man, we found out he had autism, but he like overpassed all that.
Guys, this is what I'm talking about. You know, true.
Like my son, everything. That's my man. I mean, I take him to school. Man, everything. Like I done went through so much stuff. Like with his mother, when he first was born, like she ain't want me to see him. She wanted to keep him from me. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like this. You ain't keeping my son from me. And that's what I tell people, that like, there's no way possible a parent can't be in their child's life. Can't nobody keep your way. Like the law got to let you see him. So I mean, it was up to me. So I mean, he was like 2 months old. I'm running down to the courthouse, man. I'm crying. I can't see my son. I'm running to the courthouse, filling out papers, joint custody, all this. You know what I'm saying? She doing all types of stuff, going to CPS saying I done did this, did that. I got CPS coming to my house, and then after a while he's saying it is some trash. Man, I mean, I done went through everything. So it boiled down to the point where as though, like, he stayed with me 6 months out the year. Well, he stayed with me from May 1st to October 1st. She get him on the weekends, and from October 1st to May 1st, he stayed with her, and I get him on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, this been since he was an infant. This is my first child. Like, I ain't know what to do. He over my house. You know what I'm saying? He crying. I got to figure him out. All that. You know what I'm saying? Everything. I mean, but it was fun. Everything. All of it's fun. It's all a good experience. Everything. Like, even sometimes when he sit around, be like, what's up, boy? What you doing? He be like, cool. Like, that's what I say. You know what I'm saying? That's my ace.
Oh, wow, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I wasn't ready for that response. I wasn't ready for that. And it kind of like took me back, really, you know, take me back. And to me, that's what this is the epitome of a dad. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have this show today is, like I said earlier, because you really don't hear about those stories, those in-between stories. And believe it or not, this is my first time. That's fine. That's fine. I just really wanted to focus on this because we don't see enough of this. We don't hear enough of this. We hear about deadbeat dads. We hear about dads in the household, you know, doing, you know, the marriage thing or the relationship thing, you know, or whatever. But this is the dad that we typically don't hear about, especially in the black community. You know, and Jarrell wants to wipe away his tears, but
I'm good,
no,
man. I'm straight.
no, this is to me what a dad is, you know, supposed to be. I heard him say, and I know you guys heard him say, he fought for his son. You know, he fought to see his son. So he and the child's mother has split custody, which I think is phenomenal. I'm
cool
really
now, though.
Yeah, he's cool now. So you said a little bit already, because I was going to ask you about the relationship between you and your child's mother, but you already said that, you know, it's kind of like a...
Yeah, I mean, now we cool. Now, I mean, we came a long way. I mean, she used to be on some, I don't want you to have my son around nobody, this and that. Girl, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? This is my son like it's your son. If you gonna have somebody, you gonna deal with somebody, you gonna deal with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I say is just make sure the person respect my child. Don't put their hands on him. I don't care. You know what I mean? Whatever. That's it. And I mean, I'm gonna raise my child to respect that man too. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not your father, if you feel like he's saying something or doing something out the way to you, you go in and listen to him and you go tell your mother. Or you call me and let me know. You don't disrespect him because that's not your place. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but man, how we cool now? Like, yesterday, he woke up yesterday with a fever. Man, you know, I called her, girl, what's up? I come get you, we going down to emergency. You know, all types of stuff. You know, she'd call me whenever something wrong, whatever. But like, I'm like this. That's my son. She don't have to do nothing for him, but she do. She do. She's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, I've been told her, like, girl, you don't have to do nothing. I'll take care of him financially, completely. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we good now. It's all right.
All right. So I mean, that's great. You know, because all too often we do hear those stories about the mother who is doing scandalous stuff, you know, trying to, I know you hit on that a little bit earlier, but you all have grown from that position.
But the thing about that is, it's two sides, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like this, when it came down to it, like, especially after we got the custody papers, you know what I'm saying? And he was still young, and I mean, we probably went through having a bunch of disagreements probably up until he was probably about 3. So 2 years good. With that being said, like, once we got them custody papers, and she get to just wanting us to pick something, or I go pick them up, she's saying something, whatever. I paid no money. I ain't even feeding into it, because I don't have to. You can't, whatever you say means nothing. Here, I'm coming to get my son. Yeah, I'm a bitch. All right, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. I'm not going to argue with you, because that's where it goes.
That's where it goes, right.
So you just got to, like, just ignore it sometimes. I mean, because it takes two to argue, plain and simple. And I mean, if you just there for your child, just be there for your child. Get your child dip. Let her run her mouth. She can argue with herself. You done.
Let me ask you something. In your mindset, or let's talk about your relationship with her a little bit. When you realize that, okay, hey, we're not going to be in a relationship, is ding ding, you know, or whatever. Did your mindset have to change, or did you always have the mindset of I'm going to take care of my child?
Yeah, I always had the mindset of that, because when we found out she was pregnant, we was already broke up for 2 weeks. We had broke up 2 weeks before we found out she was pregnant. And now, mind you, like I said, like I was 32. I was 32. So, I honestly thought I couldn't even have children. You know what I'm saying? And then she told me, like, she hit me like, boy, I'm pregnant, this and that. Like, all right, that's cool. I was like, she asked me if I wanted to keep it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but if you do, you know we got to raise him without being with each other, because we not going, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what it was. We tried, like, while she was still pregnant. Man, you know.
So let me ask you, do you regret her being the mother of your child?
Sometimes. A hell of a
That's
lot.
an honest answer.
Yeah, hell of a lot sometimes, because it's just like the way I raised, like the way I should have looked at the way she was raising her other children. Okay. But I mean, that's something I ain't got no control over. Honestly, I mean, I was partying and she was partying. Anyway, it's like she, like I don't think they as family oriented as they should be. I feel like this: if something was to happen to me and something was to happen to her, like her other children, he the youngest. Like then there's one that's like 15, one 17, one like about to be 20. Okay. If something was to happen to me and her, they not taking him. And he 5, and that's their little brother. You see what I'm saying? Like, she didn't instill that in them. But with that being said, I always instill that in him. Like, boy, they're your brothers and sisters. You always look out for them. Because regardless of what, that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? One of her sons, the middle one, and her, they don't really get along, so they always at it, and they got to fighting or whatever, and she put him out. And my son said the other day, he brought up his name, it's like, hey, like, that's not my brother. I'm like, boy, that is your brother. Like, that's always your brother. I don't care if your mother and him get to an argument, whatever they fight, that's still your brother. You know what I'm saying? Because that's I grew up without a father. Like, I don't even know my father. You know what I'm saying? My mother, she got high basically my whole life, you know what I'm saying? But she was there sometimes. Like, I moved out when I was 15, you know? So, like, I don't want my son to be there. I want him to grow up. Like, my son a little boy. Like, you would never see him running around no gang signs and no nigga or cussing. He'll tell you, if you cuss in front of him, he'll say, don't say that. Because that's how, like, boy, no, you don't cuss. You know what I mean? Even, like, I try not to cuss in front of him. Sometimes I do. You know what I'm saying? But he good with it. And he real smart. Like, he real smart. Like, I was teaching him from at home before he was going to Head Start. Give him a word a day, little word, like duh. You know what I'm saying? THE, boy, and then as the day go on, we saying it. Like, he spells them words. He 5 years old. My man spells words. He read. Like, he sit there and add. I told him how to add on his fingers. Like, boy, 5 and 3, add them 8. You know what I'm saying? Boy, now he's go to 10 plus 3. So now you ain't got no more fingers. Say 10, 11, 12, 13. And that's how my man do it now. You know what I'm saying? I love it, though.
This is what I love about what I do. Because, again, ladies and gentlemen, we hear the negativity all the time. We hear all the time, especially in the black community. But when you are able to look in the community and really put forth or bring forth somebody who is doing what he has to do, regardless of the situation. He's raising his son, wholeheartedly raising his son. So for those of you, quote unquote, men out there who aren't doing what you're supposed to do, look at this. You got a prime example right here. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm just going to say it. Jarrell is what I would call a category of thuggish. And a lot of times, that's a good thing. A lot of times, when you hear that particular word, you think of the worst. You think of the absolute worst. And he is definitely, he's not. He's not. So, no excuses, guys out there. So, Jarrell, what could you tell a guy, let's say, who is in the street, who maybe got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids or whatever? What would you tell him? What would be your, you know, if you had to pull him to the side, what would be that conversation?
What you mean, like, far as the conversation for them and their kids' relationship?
Just the kids, right? We focusing on the kids.
Take care of your kids regardless of what. Like, what you out here for? It's like this. See, what a lot of these young boys fail to realize, a lot of dudes anyway, period. Yeah. What they fail to realize is this. You got a child living with their mother, right? You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, the man can sit there and say, well, damn, I ain't got no money today. I can't afford to go bring you no money for no Pampers, whatever, this or that. But so they won't provide. You know what I'm saying? But then you got the mother, the child there, she can't never say, I can't, you know what I mean? She got to make it happen. Right. So the thing is why she got to just be the only one make it happen? You know what I mean? That's your child too. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what's going on, like, you always got rights to see your kids. I mean, it's nothing, like, all you gotta do is go to the courts. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing about it is, when I look at it, I just think, when they be sitting there saying, oh, well, she don't want to let me see him because of this or that, y'all don't want to see him. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't nothing that can stop me from saying my son. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what, I don't care what it is. Like, you can't stop me from saying my son. Man, go take care of your children. That's it. Like, do you want them to grow up and be out here like you? Like, if you on the streets now, don't you want them to be better than you? You know what I mean? I want my son to be way better than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want them to be better than you. Then, far as if you got little girls out here, they fail to realize if you got a little girl, the little girl most time end up dealing with having a bunch of messed up relationships because they looking for the love that they ain't never get from their father. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sit there and tell that little girl she beautiful, she pretty every day, so she know her worth. You know what I'm saying? So she don't go out here and accept no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's what they got to do. You got to go out here, instead of sitting there when you see your son out there cussing and all that, laughing at it, you got to tell him, look, boy, that ain't for you. Don't be doing that. You know what I mean? You ain't got to yell at him. I've never hit my son. I've never beat him. I've never smacked his hand. It's very seldom I got to raise my voice at him, but sometimes, you know, I got JJ. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, he just so chill. Like, he real chill. Like, he's a little boy, cool. But you gotta take care of your kids, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the first segment of the show. I will be on the road today, literally on the road, because I just have a notion that there are some good dads out there. We got one listening in and looking in and everything else. So what I'm going to do is, guys, guess what? I'm on the road, so I'll be talking to you very, very shortly. Very shortly. Thank you guys.